It's coming out, that's refreshing. It's the next morning. I've already ripped out one of those bolts, but even though I lubed the shit out of this one that's at the front here, it doesn't want to come out, so I'm going to hit it with the old grinder, fix that problem right up. Might not do it with the gas bottle there, that could be dangerous, right? I'll hit it with the grinder, get that out, get the slide out, and we're going to pop a hole through that back wall, try and figure out if it's double, like if there's two lots of material there, like double thickness, or if it's just one between here and the other side of the toolbox there. Hopefully it's just one single piece, otherwise I'm going to have to pass a bolt through, and then I'm going to have to put a board on both of them to distribute the weight out so that the aluminium doesn't flex, but we'll figure it out. Right, slides out. There's bugger all too then, they charge a lot of money for something that's effectively a couple of bearings on some flat bar. Like dead set. That's just angle on, and then they've reinforced this bit with some thicker material, but there's nothing to it. You can make them pretty easy. I'm not sure why they charge so much. I don't know where the drawer went. The drawer's floating around here somewhere. So it's out. Some of these bolts, I'm going to go find a replacement bolt now. Those threads are a bit fucking how you doing, aren't they? Rip them out, pop a hole in that, and yep, keep moving forward. Oh, actually, you know what? Look at that. There's actually Tech screws in there. Maybe it doesn't really need all of those bolts. I do need to put a drain in this because I'm going to have... oh shit, where am I going to put that? I want this whole power system to actually be independent of the caravan and not interfere with the caravan's power at all. So what I'm probably going to do is run a cable out from the outside here that is essentially a 15 amp plug down underneath, and then come straight up here. I'm going to leave all of the cabling inside the caravan exactly the way it is. I don't want to interfere with it. I don't want to play with it. I mean, we could not even have the caravan plugged in the bulk of the time, but I sort of want it plugged in because it's a nice escape when the kids are carrying on like, you know, kids do. So, I don't know. I really should plan these things before I get started rather than just winging it every single time. But that's what happens when you got BadIdea, I suppose. Right, here's our old multiplus 2. I've got fucking multiple battery loads coming here, so that'll all have to come out. That looks like the power for the servo controller. It said the power for the servo controller, it's the power for the positive for the BMS, sorry, the shunt. So I'll get to undoing all this. We're probably going to... Sparky will charge me a fucking fortune for parts, you know, since he buys the cable, then he charges me labour, and then he charges me a markup on the cable. So what I'll probably do is pull half the cables for him, so he doesn't have to do it. That's the servo power cable there, because I was using the servo for something else. I'll pull half the cables for him with this. This is 15 amp lead anyway, and then, you know, basically he's got less excuse to charge me more money. So I'll get this inverter off this. I'm going to have to hold it. Well, actually I probably won't. I'll use a couple of bits of paper and figure out what the hole alignments are, and then go and transfer the holes onto the toolbox. Don't know where I'm going to put this. I'd really like that to be inside the van, somewhere where it's easily visible, but that's more cables I've got to shift and pull and carry on. I'm already going to have to use the VE Direct, so I think the VE Direct port's on the back of here. Yeah, there it is. So I've got to put the VE Direct, actually that's handy. I'll pull that cable instead of pulling another one. The VE Direct cable that I've got is just a little baby one. I intend to chop it in the middle and extend it with an Ethernet cable. I figure this data cable should carry that signal long enough. This is just a serial connection after all. Anyway, I'll get this thing off, neaten it up. It's been sitting in the shed for a fucking long time. It's got barely any hours on it, it's a real shame. It's just been collecting dust in here, so I'll clean it out, figure out what the holes look like and their distribution, and then go and transfer it onto the toolbox. Got him out. 1, 2, 3, 4 mounting holes. I'll go straight through them, probably with maybe M4, M6. I'm going to transfer these holes off of this. Remember to add some extra space there. So I'll go find some paper, I'll trace this off and transfer the holes in. Pretty convenient. Yeah, the right size. Yep. Arrow pointing to the top, saying where I want to align it. Arrow pointing to the side, because that's the side there's going to be a little bit of wiggle room on. So I don't even know. I really don't need that. I should just centre it, shouldn't I? But given that there's overhang on the cardboard, that's probably not going to happen. So I'll use the side that's overhanging on the cardboard to line up with the side of the toolbox. Get out of here, you little bugger. Cool. So this is something I didn't think of, and fortunate byproduct of the size of the toolbox. How am I going to get the screws back on the side? Really lucky that it looks like I'll have enough room to get a stubby screwdriver back down the side to put the cover back on the inverter. So happy coincidence, because I'd completely fucking forgotten about it. And yeah, how else would I have gotten the cover back on after I put the bolts through? Still a little bit worried about how much that flexes, but I'll get the inverter in and we'll figure out if I'm going to have to put a board behind it. Chances are I could probably stick the board on the opposite side to this plate so I don't have something flammable inside of this box. Cool, so we've only got a single piece of sheet. That is excellent news. I got no way to go, like, to get some. Well, I probably could put a bolt through that, I suppose, couldn't I? I'm just wondering how I distribute this weight. I think that'll, even though it's flexing a little bit, by the time that I've bolted a inverter to it, it probably, these welds should hold. A bit rough, aren't they? But I suspect that they'll hold, but should I put a metal strap, I'll go and bend a strap up that'll fit into that gap, and put some bolts on the side here so I can't wobble backwards and forwards. I could just do the top and not the bottom. Or am I overthinking it? Like, there is a little bit of movement in there, but not towards the edges, so by the time that the inverter's actually stuck to it, it probably won't move around much at all. And although it is an off-road, it's an off-road caravan, we don't exactly beat the shit out of it. So am I going to regret it later? God damn it, I know I am, but I've already got to drop the front battery back out to put those battery straps in, and I'm out of material, so fuck. I'll have to go down to Armadale Steel, buy some more material. I don't need the same size material I got last time though. I can get something slightly smaller, since all we're trying to do... See, that's good there. That fucking guy who made the toolbox. Either the toolbox is on the piss or that piece of sheet is just some scrap that he's throwing in there, because yeah, it's not even hard up against the side. Anyway, whatever. It's only got to hold an inverter up, right? So, okay, I'll think of something. I think I'm going to throw the inverter in there, and if I have to after the fact, I'll put a strap in, because it means I've got to drive down the shop, and I haven't started the patrol this week, or fixed any of the problems on it, because I'm lazy. Alrighty, that is in. Well, not in, but physically in. I wouldn't say it's installed yet, but like a total dumbass, I drilled straight through that panel. I'm thinking, oh, maybe there is double chutes in here. No, there was a drum of oil in the other side. It's just a plastic one, and I nicked the corner, but didn't make a mess because it was empty, so we're all good. Anyway, I'll go get the cover. I might snap a photo of that because it's a bit of a milestone. It's it's the reason we spent $70,000 on bloody batteries recently. That's not including these ones. These batteries are independent, but this is the thing that started it all. So let me snap a photo of that for the thumbnail. So I've been mulling over how to figure out how long these cables are going to be. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the cable snake, and when I've got it where I want it, I'm going to mark it with tape. I'm going to pull it even further out so I can use it to get the length of wire, tape it on where the mark is, and then drag it back. But not before I do that, I'm going to crimp it, and I'm going to drag two cables at once so I don't have to climb under there too much, because there is aluminium everywhere under the van. Until I can move the van and actually clean it up, I'm going to keep getting it in my back. So I have gone a fair way out from this box. I'm going to have to put something under here to protect those cables. I probably could have come out the back, but I will put another cross member in off this angle line. to shield them, I'll come in underneath here, and then I'm basically going to follow this comms line. I don't even know what this is. I think it's for the camera, but I'm not sure. I'm basically going to drag all the cables through that same hole all the way down to the other side there. So this first battery cable runs could be short, but they're not going to be. I'm going to make them long because I want the cables to this battery to be the same length as the cables to the other battery, so they roughly discharge at the same level. Don't know if that's going to work or not. Again, don't really know what I'm doing. Totally guesstimating all of this. But you can imagine, I bet you there's spiders in here, how irritating this would be if I had to do it 4 times. And I don't want to do it 4 times. I only want to do it once. So, that's why I'm using the snake. Come on, you little bugger. Anyway, you probably don't need to see me do this, so I'll put the phone down. Oh, sorry, I'll put the camera down. I'll come back once I've figured out exactly what I'm doing, or at least made some progress. Tell you what, doing this myself, no one pulling on the other end of the cable for me is going to be a pain in the fucking ass. So what I'm going to do is kind of come over that, get the cable. You know what? That's just going to pull my bin over. 20 bucks says. At the end of the video, I'll have dragged a bin over. Actually, no, I'm just going to get the bin out of the way. Alright. I'm starting to have regrets already. There we go. Oh, already snagged on something. I might have to enlist the help of the neighbours, I think. Or we're not going to be getting much done today. Maybe just a couple of metres at a time is the way to go. Smells like shit. Oh, the grass is wet. Oh, it's kind of working. Snagged somewhere. Alright, my plan is a total waste of fucking time because this ain't going to work, I don't think. Every time I get a blockage, I'm going to have to get under here anyway. So where do we get stuck? Oh, that's not too bad. We got a fair old whack in there, didn't we? There we go. Oh, let's keep going. Drop the phone there. You watch me step on that as I come back through. Give it some of that foot power. Oh, we're stuck again. Oh shit. I'm gonna have to climb under there. I hate this, I'm too old. Oh, well, fair belt on that one, I suppose. What am I ripping on? Alright, so I've run out of cord up there. Oh, well, that's sort of semi-working, isn't it? Ah, yep, that'll rip through the insulation as well. That's not ideal. Okay, inches at a time. Seems to be the way to go. Or you plan this out properly and you have your mates here to help you. It does appear to be working though. I reckon we've got to be halfway down to the suspension by now. There's my 2. But it's not that it's got its cord, is it? Get my drill. It's the drill. Right. I'll leave a bundle here, and I will send more through at the front. Although something's not right here, because this is supposed to be 19 metres. I measured out that it was going to be 6.2 metres for each battery string if all the cables are the same length. So they're all the same length to the front. Yeah, no, that's all right. We've landed right where we want to be. Oh, good. So yeah, I'm going to end up short, I think, or I'll have to abandon my idea of having the same length cables front and back. But ain't that a bitch? Alright, you know what, I really should invest in some tripods or something, so I don't have to hold the camera. I've lost my suction cup that I was using last week for the time lapses. I've got another one, but it's set up for a right angle on the side of the car, so that when you're going up and down dunes and whatnot, you can sort of get cool angles, but so I don't really want to adjust it. Now, where's the most ideal place to put this? That cover off there again. Bloody scratched it. Typical. So what have we got here? That negative's on that side. I'm going to be limited to what sort of holes I can put there because of the inverter's actually in. Maybe I should have laid this out first. That would have been good thinking, hey? So I've already got a hole right there, so what I might do is just knock old matey out. They're like a headless, like cup sort of bolt thing that the previous person who built the toolbox put through it. I reckon if I just give that a good hard whack, I reckon she'll come out. So I'm thinking that can go there. Negative, just one wire that goes back, straight up. Maybe I should just try and line that terminal up. I'll have the two negatives maybe come through these two holes, loop around onto that, and the two positives through these two holes, and they can go straight up into the bottom of the battery charger. But I want the AC wiring and everything to be missed, because I sort of foresee this little corner here. It'll be the easiest place for the electrician to work. And yeah, like I want all the 240 volt stuff, because it's fucking dangerous, right? If the RCD's down here, that piece of cable that runs up to the inverter, that is a dangerous piece of cable that needs to be properly shielded and protected and whatnot. So should I rethink this maybe and get the RCD as close as possible to the inverter so there's less opportunity for something to go wrong? Let me make a phone call. I need to speak to my Sparky mate and see what he thinks.